full name.
Sarah Elizabeth Brady.
Would you please state your mother's name?
Sarah May Dunham.
Would you please state your father's name?
William Ray Dunham.
Were you born in this country?
Yes.
When were you born, if you want to give your date?
1930.
What month?
12th month, 23rd day.
What was it like growing up?
What was it like growing up? I grew up on a farm, little farm, and we were busy.
Would you like to say anything else about it?
Well, we had a good life. All the good food you wanted, because we had our own beef and pigs and chickens, eggs, you name it.
Anything else?
Of course, I went to school. And that was about my growing up years.
Share some good memories about growing up.
About growing up. Yeah. We had a cabin up at Wharton Township, up on the mountain. It was a 4-room cabin. And every summer we went up there for a week.
What happened up there?
Well, in the mornings we could see the fields were just full of deer and all kind of wild animals because it was up in the mountains. Deer and that kind of stuff. No bear or nothing like that.
Was that one of your good memories growing up?
Yeah, it was good. It was a good week. We always hated to come home because it was a good week. Plus up there we didn't have to do any work.
Where did you meet your spouse?
Oh boy, we grew up in the same town.
So you met him at school?
Well, I don't know if it was a school or I guess school.
What kind of odd jobs did you have?
Okay, I babysit for a lawyer's wife. They had 3 children. I babysit the summers, the first 2 summers that I was in high school there. Plus, I worked on the farm. I did everything on the farm. You name it, I did it.
What occupation did you or your spouse have?
Then, or I didn't have any. I got married.
Okay. So you were a housewife?
Yes.
Okay, how about your spouse?
Let's see. His first job, he was probably working on a coal strip. They was stripping coal. I would say it was his first job.
About how long ago was that?
50 years.
So your spouse 50 years ago was working on the coal
Strip.
Coal strip. Okay, what about recent work?
Oh, he worked, me or him?
Both of you.
He worked all his life at Wheeling Pittsburgh Steel.
How about you?
I worked at Chesler's Furniture for years. And then at the donut shop, you know. Then we owned the donut shop. Worked there.
What was school like?
I liked school.
What favorite subject did you have?
Arithmetic, math.
Anything else you want to say about school? What were all the subjects you had in school?
Oh my gosh, I can remember them all. My grade school years were just typical what you take in grade school. And then I took the commercial course in the high school, which was teaching you to be a secretary or something like that. Or an English teacher or, that kind of stuff. But one thing I didn't like was biology.
What types of activities or clubs were you in school?
You know, our school didn't have many clubs.
They didn't have any.
I was what they call, where people are placed around and they keep the traffic moving good. What do you call it? Quarter squad, I think it's called.
Quarter squad?
Yeah, it's, you know, where you were, just so many in the school were chosen, so many out of each class, and I was one chosen to be one of those.
What was the downtown like years ago?
Downtown, like years ago. Oh my gosh. About the only time I went into Uniontown stuff was like, my grandmother lived in there a while, and my two aunts lived in there, and I would always go in. My one aunt was a hairdresser, and I would always go in and stay for the weekend and get my hair curled, my permanent. Now I did that, you know, so many times a year.
Was there a lot of shops downtown then?
Just what Uniontown has, you know, Penny's and Sears and Montgomery Ward's and.
That was downtown?
Uh-huh.
Which is not there now.
Right on. Metzler's was there, Cohen's Furniture, Sears. The downtown had everything the mall has now.
What stores and prices do you remember? You named a
Well, we shopped at Penny's a lot. Penny's and Sears was probably our two favorite. I don't remember any prices. But that's where we clothed our kids, Penny's and Sears.
What kind of car did you have?
Well, thank God we always had a good car. Grandpa got a new car every 3 years. So we always had a good car.
What did you want to buy but couldn't afford? What did you always want to buy but couldn't afford?
Oh boy. I used to say I wanted a mink coat.
A mink coat?
I used to always say I wanted a mink coat.
But
When
never
I get
could
rich,
afford
I want to
it.
have a mink coat.
Okay, anything else?
No, we were sufficient.
Who had more authority, your mom or your dad, when you were growing up? Who was the
Oh boy.
head honcho when it came to things? Who was the bad guy?
My dad.
Your dad? He stuck his neck out and always yelled at the kids.
Yeah, my dad. Never whipped me though, never.
Never whipped?
Never once.
Did he whip anybody?
No, but he'd put you away from the table or make you go to your room. No, he never whipped.
What is your favorite thing about being old?
Oh boy. Favorite thing about being old. Being old's no fun.
It's no fun.
Your knees hurt. Your back hurts. Being old is for the pits.
What is your least favorite thing about growing older? What was your least favorite thing?
I just don't like being old. I want to be young again. You can't do the things you did when you was younger. You know? You're just limited to what you can do.
What do you feel is the perfect age?
30.
30? Why?
Because you're active and you're old enough to have good sense, but your body is able to do what you want to do. I think that's a good age.
What advice would you give younger people today?
Just work hard. It's out there if you work for it.
What do you feel about public display of rebelling against the government?
I do not agree. You always back your government. Sometimes maybe they're not right, but you back your government.
What do you feel about women in today's society? Do you think they're overdoing it by trying to be like men, or are they okay where they are?
I think they're overdoing it by a lot. I think they ought to go back to being a little more motherly and so on. Yes, I think they're pushing too hard.